Hello everyone, I'm Mickey.
And I'm Apollos.
Welcome to our channel Novax. This is a channel where we will be talking about video games, movies, anime, and manga.
Today we'll be discussing CyberPunk 2077. This exciting game is coming out in November for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and also Stadia. As for next gen, it should come out in 2021. But nothing official has been announced yet.
Now before we talk about Cyberpunk more in depth, let us first watch the official trailer, The Gig.
I love this town. The city of endless opportunity. Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on!
City like any other, just bigger.
Nah, mano, not just any other city. Legends are born here.
The major leagues. We're only here because Dex is pulling the strings. Doubt that puts us in the same league as them.
But we are. They just don't know it yet. But if you got the cojones and you know how to use them, you can do damn near anything.
Unless you catch a bullet.
Even then, you go out with a bang, right?
You know, you can make heaps more eddies as a motivational speaker.
Yo, Mr. V, a pleasure.
So what's the gig, Dex? You meant to come out in one piece? How about we go over the plan?
There's this prototype tech, a biochip to be precise. Job's to grab it.
Guessing it belongs to a corp.
Arasaka.
We're robbing some heavy hitters.
Thought you could blackmail me, fucker?
High risk, high reward. First rule of the afterlife.
Ka-ching, baby.
Goes without saying, we do this on the hush. Ideally, no bodies, not a one.
Sounds simple enough.
Eat lead, assholes!
Is it gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof. Get your ass moving now!
What the fuck just happened in there?
Can't stop digging Night City.
Fucking major leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
Yep, that's fucking high! Time to bail!
Oh my god, we're so fucked.
Dex, what the fuck?
Can't risk it, V.
And you, who are you?
Fuck.
Now, according to Holly Bennett, head of communication for CD Projekt, she said that upgrading to next-gen console will be for free, not like other games who charge you extra, or having to purchase it again. On top of that, there will be no bonus for pre-ordering the game, because she said that they want most gamers to be on the same playing field.
Alright, so in this video we are going to talk about what Cyberpunk has to offer when it comes to gameplay, the world, the main character, NPCs, guns, upgrades, perk tree, and the different mobs that control certain regions in the world of Cyberpunk. We are basically going to provide you with facts as well as a discussion of what we think is going to happen or how we want it to happen. So stay tuned.
Now, let us talk about Lifepaths. Personally, I'm going with corporate Lifepath. I love the idea of business and being part of a huge corporation in Night City. Not only that, but I also like their style. How about you, Mickey?
I was also going for the corporate life path, but since you chose it, I think that I will be going for the street kid life path instead.
The nice thing about a street kid is that you already know everything about Night City. But for example, the nomads live in the Badlands, which is the desert area that is outside Night City. And eventually, if you choose the nomad's life path, we will enter Night City since that is where the story will be taking place.
So the nomads will know everything about the Badlands, but they do not know anything about Night City. So for example, the street kid life path, V would know the ins and outs of Night City, but I am not sure if they would know anything about the corporate world.
Something I would like to mention. Let us say for street kid life path, if you are in conversation with another NPC, you'll get a special dialogue with them. The same goes with the corporate and nomad life paths, which will give you an advantage in certain delicate situations.
So, I feel like the corporate world would know about what is going on in Night City, to some extent.
Of course they do, man. It's just that they see it from a different point of view. It is kind of how the wealthy view the poor and how the poor view the wealthy. The corporate world is the same. They are very wealthy and look down on everyone else living in Night City. They just do not see or they do not care about the filthy parts of the city.
So, in other words, they see the main streets, but they do not necessarily see the alleyways.
Exactly. They probably even see the gangs as nothing but a business opportunity and potential clients for them to make more money. For a street kid, they probably find an opportunity in trying to steal shipments carried by convoys from the corporate life path and cause trouble for them. Nomads focus on themselves since they are a family. Other than that, we do not know anything more as far as life paths go.
Here are other questions that we do not have the answers to yet. Will the missions be similar across all life paths but in different points of view, or a different approach depending on what you choose? Or are they all going to be completely different from each other? Alright, so let us start talking about the main character V. So he's a mercenary. But here's the question I have for you, Apollos. What do you think about his name?
Personally, I'm not a big fan of name V. Now we do not know for sure, but let's assume that you cannot change the name V. If that is the case, then I will be disappointed. Because if the game allows you to customize his face, hairstyle, body type, modifications, background, and clothing, it would not make sense for the game not to allow you to change the name.
But here's the thing though. What if V is a much shorter version of his name? What if V is just an alias that he uses? Now if that is the case, then we have to wait for the game to come out and play the story and find out. Or it turns out that his name is V. Whichever one it is, I am honestly fine with it.
Okay, maybe V is just a shorter version of his actual name. But regardless, wouldn't you want to change his name? For example, let us say Novax, same as our channel.
Okay, sure, let us say that they do let us customize the name to our liking. But what if NPCs don't say the name that you created in cutscenes, and when it comes to the interactions that you will have in the world with them?
That is true. However, some games they let you customize a name for your character, as well as letting you choose from a preset of nicknames. That way, the NPCs will call you by your nickname in cutscenes and gameplay.
CyberPunk takes place in Northern California, specifically the regions between Los Angeles and San Francisco. It has 6 regions, and here they are. You have Corporate City Center, Immigrant Inhabitant Watson, Luxurious Westbrook, Suburban Haywood, Gang-infested Pacifica, and Industrial Santo Domingo, and the surrounding area known as the Badlands, which you can explore. But having said that, most of the action will take place in Night City. So Apollos, what do you think about a real-life destination being added into Cyberpunk where it will have a futuristic look? For example, let's say Malibu?
Personally, I do not think so, man, because it takes place in 2077. We are talking about 57 years into the future. I'm sure that a lot of things have changed. However, I would say that there is no doubt that CD Projekt will surprise us with Easter eggs, as well taking inspiration from real-life Northern California and apply some of it into the world of Cyberpunk. Gangs will play a big part in this game, since there will be interaction with various gangs by exploring the world of Cyberpunk and playing the campaign.
So there is going to be a total of 9 different gangs in the world of Cyberpunk. 7 of them reside in Night City. You have Maelstrom, Valentinos, 6th Street, Animals, Voodoo Boys, Tiger Claws, and Moxes. Two of those gangs reside outside Night City in the Badlands. You have Wraiths and Altercados.
It would be fascinating if there's going to be a reputation system in this game. For example, the more side missions you do for the Maelstrom gang, the more loyalty you will have with them. Which means that if you step into 6th Street gang territory and you do not have any loyalty with them, then they shoot you on sight. Or if you are in Maelstrom territory and you get attacked, then backup will arrive to help you out. Or you can call backup in neutral areas in the world of Cyberpunk.
Now we know that we will have the ability to make choices, and the game will have different endings based on the choices that you make. Let us say that there will be a loyalty system as well as street cred. You have more loyalty towards the Maelstrom gang compared to the rest of them. Even though you are increasing that loyalty bar by completing side missions, will that take effect into one of the endings? Or side missions are just side missions, and the choices that you make in the main campaign is what will count towards one of the possible endings?
That is an interesting thought. Personally, I agree with you on some level. We do not know if side missions will be taken into account for one of the possible endings. But I do know that when it comes to the main campaign, it will depend on each player on the choices they make, and possibly the gang that they choose to side with.
What I would like to see is if you do have the ability to have a full reputation with a certain gang and being able to join them. Now, it would be cool if you can attack the territories of other gangs as well as other gangs attacking your territory and each other. After everything said and done, authorities would respond to the scene.
Hopefully it's more dynamic and all gangs will fight for regions. And every few in-game days or nights, gangs will always lose and take control of regions. But from what I understand so far, the authorities don't have much power. Night City is too corrupted, and that is why it's infested with 7 different gangs.
Now, we will see how it would all unfold once the game comes out. There are 3 types of classes for you to focus on, depending on how you want to spend your attribute and perk points. These 3 classes are Netrunner, which specializes in hacking, Techie, which specializes in causing malfunction of machines, Solo, which will specializes in combat. I would like to note that you may encounter NPCs with other classes that you may not be able to specialize in. However, they may be available for you to play in the future. I would also like to mention that these 3 classes are nothing but an extra detail for you to explore or play through.
So first we have the attribute system, which contains body, intelligence, reflexes, technical, and cool. Then under attributes you have perks. For example, under reflexes you have handguns and blades. For intelligence you have hacking. For body you have shotguns, melee, and athletics. For cool you have assassination, nerve, and assault rifles. And under technical you have engineering. Underneath the perks, you have skills. As from recording this video, we do not have a clue or an idea where skills would play a part in Cyberpunk. However, we do know how you obtain attribute and perk points, as well as how you level up your skills. You get attribute points from leveling up, perk points are also known as street cred, and you obtain them from completing side missions. As for skills, you level them up by using those specific skills.
This whole system does sound overwhelming because there is so much to unpack from it, but I'm sure that we will get used to it once we start playing the game. As far as the campaign goes, that is all there is to it and what we know about it. But once the multiplayer drops, I think that this system will change in some way, shape, or form. There are 3 categories of weapons in Cyberpunk. You have ranged weapons, melee, and cyberware. The ranged weapons have 3 types: tech, smart, and power. Tech weapons can penetrate walls and armor. Smart weapons have homing bullets. Power weapons use electromagnetics. Cyberware are weapons that you can attach to your arms. For me, it would be really fun to hack and slash through a great number of enemies. That would be really exciting.
As for me, I really like the smart weapons. I feel like that they would be too OP compared to tech and power. Reason being is because smart weapons are equipped with homing bullets. Once the multiplayer drops, I would say that you would feel the difference between a player that uses smart versus a player who uses tech and power weapons. I'm wondering how they would balance it once the multiplayer drops. You also must keep in mind that you'll have the ability to equip a modifying chip that improves the accuracy or increase the damage on these different weapons, as well as attachments like scopes, laser sights, but we will see how weapons will fully work once the game comes out. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe and comment your thoughts down below. We will see you guys in our next video.